Welcome to our secret underground tunnel. That isn't gonna be a secret underground tunnel for long because we are getting ready to fill all of this space here with concrete.
And although this looks like it could be a secret bunker hiding place, which we may build one of those one day, but this is actually going to be the foundation of our house. But before we fill all these holes in with concrete, we first have to build 32 of these. These are the rebar structures that are going to go on the bottom of the footers. This is what's going to keep all of the concrete super strong and sturdy. But you can't just buy them like this. We need to build every single one by hand from scratch.
It looks like the rain is coming in. Fortunately, I wasn't here when these 100 pieces of rebar were dropped off. The idea when we built this road is for everything to be down there, but my guys were here and I did a bad job explaining that to them. So now I got to carry all 100 pieces of these rebar. I'm gonna try to get as much down there as possible before this rain starts coming in so I can keep cutting and I can keep bending. We need to build 32 footers and each of them are kind of a different size, ranging from 1 foot all the way up to 2.5 feet. And each of the rebar structures need to accommodate for these sizes. So the rebar needs to be within the concrete 3 inches on all sides. So you need to have 3 inches of concrete covering the rebar. And that basically means custom building each of these rebar structures. So I have a ton of rebar to build. I got the rebar bending machine out here and I'm just gonna go to town on bending a bunch of these rebars. I just need to bend the ends up 90 degrees. And that's so when we build the column that the house is gonna sit on top of, that rebar structure for the column also ties into the base and it ties in where I'm bending these 90-degree angles up. I know it might be a little complicated, it's hard to explain, but just know we have a ton of rebar to bend and to basically wire tie together. This rebar structure needs to be 6 feet by 6 feet. So it takes like 1 to get it just right. When you're bending something, it's hard to know what the distance is gonna be. So you kind of just have to guess and then just make the proper adjustments on the next ones. And we have 6 feet right there. Perfect.
So today, you know what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna have something for every letter that we do today. So today we're learning vowels. Do you know what a vowel is? Is that an E, a B, or an A? It's an E? Are you sure? Yes. That's an E? Okay, can you try to trace it on your paper now? Hungry. Mommy? We are gonna make stuffed cabbage soup.
It's sticky, Mom.
That's all right. You can wipe it off. And go ahead, put that right in there. The angel is down for a nap. Naps these days have been such a hit or miss. If she naps, it's usually late in the day, probably around like 2:33, which is the time it is now. But then it usually means she's up until about 10:30 at night. So any of you toddler parents out there that are in that weird kind of awkward in-between.
Hi, honey.
Hi, sweetie.
Look, I made you a candy cane.
Very nice.
Is Sadie sleeping?
Yeah, she's out.
Oh, good, honey. Look, I actually made you something though.
Did you actually? Oh, you made a square.
Oh, look at this square.
Wow, what is this little thing?
I don't know, it says in the plans that we have to have that.
Really? Wow. How many tries did it take you to get that?
3.
Not bad.
Now I got it dialed in.
Not bad, not bad. But these days with Sade have just been so special. She is just at, like, this is the age where I feel like I just want to freeze time. Of course we have our hard days, we have our hard moments. She's a 3-year-old, obviously that's gonna happen. But like when she's good and when she's happy and we're playing make-believe and we're doing school and learning things together, it is just the definition of pure bliss and pure joy. Today is actually Sunday, so it's just Jordan and I. We don't have our crew here helping us. Karen's not here to help with Sade. And Sundays are actually some of our favorite days because some days we still do choose to do some work, but to us, like, especially for Jord, I don't think you view this as working right now, sweetie. Like you're definitely enjoying yourself.
No, this is what I would
This is what you would be
prefer to
doing
be doing.
anyway. Yeah, exactly. And especially like we're doing something to be working towards the building of our own home. So it's like, it doesn't really feel like work.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna hit 2 of these. And then let's measure about 6 feet.
Sweetie, I like doing monotonous work with you.
Why? Because we get to talk about the solutions to life.
That's right. This is our time to like figure out all of life's problems.
You want to start a podcast and we'll call it Couples Therapy, and we'll just be twisting rebar and talking about our problems?
Honestly, not a bad idea. I would love that.
I mean, we only have 31 more of these to go, so that gives us 31 episodes of a podcast.
Yeah, we'd have to talk about some juicy stuff. You know, politics, religion.
You don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah, but you could talk about it. It is so crazy just coming out and looking at this whole area right here. Like just in the last 3 weeks, we've created this giant mess. It's not a mess, it's progress, but it looks like a mess right now. But it is pretty crazy to think, like just 3 weeks ago, this was all just pasture. We had the goats out here eating the grass just 3 weeks ago.
I got 8 pieces of bar down here ready to go. I got the big chop saw in place, the bender ready to go. We're getting into mass production mode, baby. The rain is here, but the saw is in place, and I'm gonna use this stump to basically push the rebar up against and then just cut down on it. And each one's gonna be exactly 6 feet long. It's gonna make this super easy, so let's do this. Now I'm going to start preparing the rebar for the columns. And how the columns work is it's 6 pieces of rebar that come up, and there's rebar that's wrapped around it going all the way up. And that rebar that wraps around the 6 pieces are squares that basically create the form of the whole column. So what I need to do right now is basically bend perfect rebar squares. That's 25 centimeters exactly on all 4 sides.
Just do?
Cut it.
Cut it? Oh, I didn't know that did it too. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Holy moly. That's crazy that that machine that's small can do that.
It's got a big motor.
What is in there?
Big motor. Just a motor.
I mean, it's not that big. It's that big.
Pretty good for one day. It's probably about 12 pieces that I've bent. Honestly, it's probably good for about 1 column. That's just how it's gonna go, but you wanna know something? It's kind of fun. I honestly have fun doing all this every day. Every day coming out here and working, I'm loving everything that's what I'm doing. And that's why even though it's raining right now, sun setting, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not stopping yet. I got 8 pieces of rebar over here. I got a bending machine and a big metal cutter. How can I? There's no way I could stop now. I got 8 pieces of rebar over here, and I need to cut them to 79 inches in length. These are the parts that get bent up a little bit, so only half of the rebar gets bent up at a 90 degree on the ends. That means I need to cut these 7 inches longer than the pieces I was cutting before. And right now I'm just stockpiling. I'm just building up a massive pile of all this cut rebar, because now that I've built a few of these things, I know exactly how they need to be. So I can just kind of do things in mass, which makes it go a heck of a lot faster. I made you something, little pea. You want to see?
An eye.
An eye. It does kind of look like an eye.
This is going to be the piece of metal that holds up your room. I can take her in a little bit if you want. I'm going to finish this, bending these. And I'm going to put the tools away, put the goats away, and then I can take her for a little bit if you want. Sure. We can
should all play together.
All right.
I want to all play together. We're gonna go make cookies and have a tea party.
And then we're gonna have a family jump party.
You want to have a family jump party?
Yeah, you can come, and I can come, and then we can have a family jump party.
You guys see that face? That's someone who just drank a dream by Beam. That's someone who can barely keep their eyes open because they put down a sleepy time hot chocolate and they're ready to go to bed.
I was literally upstairs. I went to bed like an hour ago and I was laying there. Wasn't even on my phone, just had my eyes shut. It was just one of those nights my thoughts were racing. Could not sleep, came downstairs. Jord made me a dream and it is kicking in full force right now.
If you guys don't know what Beam's Dream Powder is, it's basically a nighttime hot chocolate and you drink it and it just knocks you out.
If you guys haven't tried this stuff before, we've been drinking this stuff for a good 3 years now. You are truly missing out, especially if you're one that struggles with sleep or you're just one that struggles with falling asleep. That's always my thing.
Beam's Dream Powder has reishi, L-theanine, CBD, magnesium. It's basically the perfect nighttime blend. Then you drink this delicious hot chocolate. This one is dark chocolate peanut butter flavored. It's freaking delicious. Another shout out to the blueberry crumble. Like, my goodness, tastes like you're drinking blueberry pie. But you drink one of those and within 30 minutes, I'm passed out.
Out like a light.
And with it being New Year's, so many of us are making New Year's resolutions, trying to eat better, live better, sleep better. And for any out there that are struggling, I just can't recommend Beam enough. And now is a good time to check out Dream by Beam because they have 40% off going site-wide right now. So check the link down in the description below. And you can use promo code Nomadic at checkout to save 40%. So thank you so much, Beam, for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna take a few more sips of this hot chocolate and pass out. You know, it's kind of tough because we're focused on the house building right now, but we still have a whole farm around and I got to make sure I'm carving out time to keep everything up and running. Because look at our greenhouse. This is what happens when you get distracted by building a house. We got to make sure that we're still setting aside time to run the farm because these plants and animals can't take care of themselves. I mean, look at how out of control these tomato plants are. This thing is huge. This is like 3 plants that just boom. And just taking over everything. Look at all this. Look how much smaller that tomato plant is. This was out of control. It wasn't working on producing tomatoes, just working on growing out of control. There's only like 3 plants over there. And now I can take all of this and give it to our goats. And they're gonna love it. I grew you some food. That's Swiss chard.
Thank you. We will give this to the goats.
No, we're gonna eat that. Does anyone else get as excited about compost as me? Oh my god, I just picked up some compost and there was a huge snake in it. And I'm pretty sure it's poisonous. See that right there? I'm pretty sure it's a poisonous snake and it's pretty big. It makes sense though, because compost heaps are warm. And mine's like steaming right now, it's so warm. So that snake's in there just loving life, but it was like right next to my arm, I freaked out. Collard greens, Brussels sprouts, and bok choy. This is our worm bucket, and we put a lot of kitchen scraps in here, and you can see there's all these red wiggly worms right here. And what these guys do is they break down all of our compost. I'm gonna give these guys some food. I give these guys food, and they give me worm juice. Worm juice. Who doesn't love worm juice? I've been training all the goats with a whistle like dogs. When I whistle, they know like they're getting food. Look at them. Look how excited they are.
Well, they also know you have food, honey.
Yeah, but I would give them the whistle and then they all came over. All right, I gotta open this door. Come on. All right, come on. There you go.
So our system today is we're actually bringing the goats over to where the cow was just at pasture. So the ideal process is that the cow goes to pasture first, you then bring the goats over because they cut the grass even shorter. And then eventually if you want to, you can bring your chickens over and then they are the ones that till and fertilize the soil.
Farm chores are all good. Sadie is happy, and now it's time for me to get back to bending some rebar. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most out of all these days, like just getting this machine out here and watching this thing work and building the foundation of our home. It's genuinely, it might look tedious, but I'm having a blast. Hey, if you need me, I'm gonna be over here bending some rebar, all right?
Yeah.
You need me?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Can I help you, Daddy?
You wanna help me?
Yeah.
All right. I would love that.
But I need my headphones. Don't let me lie.
You want me to come in with you?
Yeah.
I would love to come in with
On
you.
the second day of Christmas, you love gave to me.
Are you still singing Christmas songs? You are so my daughter. Christmas is not left the building, you guys. Today's actually New Year's Eve, you guys. I cannot believe tomorrow's gonna be 2025. It feels so futuristic to say that. Like 2025 feels so crazy. Sweetie, how does it feel that tomorrow is gonna be the year that we get married?
I feel good about it. How do you feel about it? I feel like you're a lot more excited about it than I am.
I'm more excited.
I mean, I'm excited, honey, but like, you're really excited.
I'm really excited, you guys. I'm really excited.
It'll be late at night. You know, we're sitting there on the couch, running for the day, getting ready to go to bed. And it's like, honey, but what do you think of our wedding that we put the twinkly lights in a diamond pattern?
That never happened, by
Yeah,
the
but it's
way.
like that.
That never happened.
It's like that, though. It's like that. It's like decision-making time all the time for the wedding.
You guys, I love a good party. I love party planning. I love hosting. It feels like the biggest party we've ever hosted. You know, we have 70 people flying in from the States for this party. It better be a good one.
This is indoctrination, honey.
Indoctrination?
Yeah.
All right, I'm all right with that. You all right with that?
I don't know, I'm not. Look, I'm not like a Grinch or anything, but we've been listening to Christmas music for 3 months.
Hey, at this point, it's not me anymore. It's all her, honey.
That's what I was saying. You've indoctrinated us. Now it's 2 against 1.
Okay. Maybe a little more.
Have you ever gotten your makeup done before, dude?
First time. Professional. Oh, wow. Okay, can I have some more?
You do like a little bit.
Okay, just a little bit. What about some lipstick?
We got this smelly one.
Oh.
You gotta come and make your appointment with Princess Sadie. Rod's getting his nails done.
Sade, what time do you have available?
2 times.
You have 2 times?
No, 1 time.
What time do you have available?
1 time.
1 o'clock? Oh, I'm busy then.
How about 2 o'clock?
Oh, I'm busy.
Right now.
Oh, I'm busy right now, honey. 133.4.
133.4. Today is gonna be a lot of monotony, but it is also the last day of 2024, so would you like to share your resolutions for the new year, my love?
We're building a freaking house, dude. That's all the only thing I'm working on. I can't be like taking on commitments to losing weight or reading more or flossing my teeth every night. All that's going on. We're not flossing.
We're not flossing this year, you guys. We're building a house.
All that's going on.
I will say though, I do have a goal of getting ripped. Especially our wedding's in 4 months. What do you think, Rod? You get some New Year's resolutions this year?
Yeah.
All right, let that go.
What are they?
Stop playing.
Stop playing?
Playing what?
Playing what?
You been playing the Nintendo Switch a little bit too much?
I've been using it a little bit.
What have you been playing?
Maybe a little bit of Mario Kart.
Oh, Mario Kart. This is heaven today, honey. Hey, you taking my job.
Get out of my hand!
This is so cute.
Come on! Get up! You know what they said in the Titanic?
Yeah.
She goes, I'll never let go. And then lets him go. That's how you do it with the boys, honey. That's it.
That's right.
You can! You're a big girl! Yeah!
That was amazing.
This might be the best day ever. I don't know. Sade's finally using the slide. We finally got some sun. It's beautiful out. And it's New Year's. Happy freaking New Year's, you guys. This is the best. Oh, man. This is a brand new shirt. This is my first time wearing it. My dad got me this for Christmas. I'm sorry, Dad. That's why I can't have nice things, alright? Alright, let's go. I need a little pick-me-up. It is coffee time for me, you guys. And I figured while I make some coffee, I've been reading some comments, and you guys have so many questions about the house build. And I figured while I make a coffee here real quick, I'm gonna be brewing up some Honey Harvest. I love this coffee. It's one of my favorites, hands down. I'm gonna answer as many of your guys' questions as I possibly can. So to make a coffee takes 3 minutes, and I'll rip through as many questions as I can. First question is from Shall Not Be Infringed Upon 202. And they ask, with that many rebars to cut, would it not be beneficial to create a 2x4 crib that you can load several in, measure once, and then cut instead of measuring each one individually? So what you guys saw in the first video was us making our first rebar structures. And what I like to do is make one and try and do it perfect and right and how I understand it, and then check with the architect on if what we're doing is right. Because if I just mass cut all those rebars and I did something wrong, like the 45s bending up were wrong, or probably would have had a few $1,000s of wasted rebar. So if you see us doing something for a first time that's a little bit slower and kind of a little bit not as like streamlined, it's because most likely we're trying to figure it out. Next question is from Nancy Boetti 3748, and her question is about our garage and if we're worried about flooding or how we're going to stop it from flooding. We are going to be building a lot of retaining walls around the garage, and we have a whole drainage system in the architecture plans on how to move the water around and not have any problems and not have any water coming in. This next one's from Jeffrey Ferguson, and he asks, why are we required to do so many deep concrete pads? Do you have earthquakes, or is it because the ground gets saturated with water? And why we need so many is, yes, we get very strong earthquakes. They've had earthquakes that are in the 7s and 8s here in Panama in the past, so we need a plan for that. We're also putting the house up on stilts up in the air, and that's a lot to do because of the amount of water that we get here. There's also scorpions and snakes, big spiders, bugs, and what we've learned with this workshop is by getting it up, you don't have any problems with any of that. Like, we don't have any scorpions in here. We actually had a snake in here once, but it's not a problem like a lot of other people have. Next question from Simply Niquiel1. Since y'all have so many helpers, why not get more shovels and have everyone help around? These guys are working as hard as they can. And when you're digging holes like that, you do have to spend a good amount of time resting. You're spending more time resting than actually digging because it's exhausting. So kind of how we do it here is we have a system where one person digs and the other one rests, and they just rotate in and out, and we have 2 people working on a hole. And we found that that's what works best, and they're not just like hanging around, they're trying to recover so they can, because they're gonna have to get back in that hole in a minute and dig a bunch more. And yeah, that's kind of the system that we have that works. All right, this coffee's just finishing up here, so I'm just gonna go with one last question from Zachary Neufeld. And Zachary asks, wouldn't tracks make the skid steer much better in the mud? And yes, it definitely would. So there's 2 different machines. There's a skid steer, which has wheels, and a track loader, which has tracks. I inquired about a track loader here in Panama, and everything was over $100,000 to buy one. But I have a little bit of news because I found out about over-the-tire tracks, and I bought some. I ordered them. The only thing is they're 600 pounds and they need to get shipped down here in a shipping container, and it's gonna take like 4 weeks. So by the time they get here, we might be all done excavating anyway, but it'll make it so I can use the skid steer in the future. So I'm turning that skid steer into a tank. So in the future, we're never gonna have to worry about mud again. But this is the end of the first coffee chat hour where you guys ask questions and I make a coffee. If you guys have more questions, leave them down in the description below. Maybe I'll keep doing this because I know a lot of what we're doing is different, and a lot of you guys have a lot of valid questions on, it's like, what the heck are you guys doing over there? Just building one of these takes me the better part of a day. This is number 3 out of 32 that we have to do. And it's been 3 days of work working on these so far. Now I have stockpiled a bunch of rebar. It's like all ready to go. And I have this rebar all bent up for some of the columns that's ready to go. And also for this past week I've been alone. Well, it's just been Kaylee and I. The guys went to the Camarca, which is the native reservation. That's like a province over, and when we have 8 guys working on it, I feel like it's gonna be faster. You know, we're just getting started on this bar work for the rebar structure, and it's gonna be a ton. I mean, this is gonna be, when all the rebar's in place and we're getting ready to put concrete down, it's gonna be insane what it looks like, but we gotta do it. We gotta do what we gotta do here, and just gotta take it one day at a time. Genuinely, on days like today, I'm loving this. You know, today is actually New Year's, and anytime when it comes to getting dressed up, Kaylee, She goes all out, so I'm just trying to hang. I'm gonna be the one with her at the party tonight, so I gotta at least look somewhat decent. I think I can fool him for a second. Kaylee's getting all ready now. Just wait till you see her, because she's gonna be dolled up and she's gonna be looking so beautiful. That's the one thing I can promise you. Oh, damn, honey.
I don't get the shoes yet, but
Damn, honey.
you can get just some muffins, sweetie.
Look at that.